Okay, so then Justin Long gets drugged by Michael Parks, and what I don't understand is Michael Parks then doesn't just come out and say what he's gonna do.
Yeah.
He draws out. He's like, "Oh, there's a doctor named Doctor How Do You Do?" Weird Dr. Musowitz or something down the road.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "But we sup at 7." Of course, he has to say sup. He has to talk. Kevin Smith is like, I'm going to do character distinction by having one guy have an $800 vocabulary and Justin Long say stuff like, I got to use the John. So, and he lives
Get me out of here.
Get me out of here. I love when characters cry and they the drool. So they have a dinner together where it's revealed that Michael Parks does not need to be in the wheelchair, and he gets up and then he just howls at Justin Long, and they howl back and forth each other. At this point, I'm wondering, how did you afford a castle in the woods?
Exactly.
But then Haley Joel Osment and CW girlfriend go looking for Justin Long. They get there, they check their messages. I will give them credit for this. It's the first time I've ever seen a horror movie where it actually something realistic happens. Where, you do get a hold of somebody. But the problem is you're in Manitoba. Nobody knows where you are. Yeah. So they enlist the help of a detective. Played by Johnny Depp. And
they try to tell you it's not Johnny Depp. He puts a nose on, and it's the worst performance of the year.
It's the worst performance Gerard Depardieu has ever given. Really, somewhere Gerard Depardieu was sitting in France drinking 19 bottles of wine a day and being like, Sacre bleu, that's me!
Throwing up and cutting himself. I can't believe this actually happened.
Johnny Depp gets a prosthetic nose. Now, keep in mind, in the rest of the movie up to this point, everyone's doing realistic acting. I mean, no one's doing characters. This isn't Dr. Strangeglove. No one's multiple. It's not Eddie Murphy. But yet, all of a sudden, Johnny Depp
comes in
with his lazy eye that he's like, and he does a 10-minute eating, of course. He does a 10-minute monologue, which I called it his Better Call Saul performance. It was clearly I read a blog where someone said about this movie, it seemed like that in order to get Johnny Depp in the movie, Kevin Smith had to agree to not cut a single second of film.
I read that actually.
That Johnny Depp was in.
And it feels that way. You're literally waiting for him to talk. You're waiting for him. It's like, well, and you're like, and then and you do that again and again. He's like, and you're like, Jesus God, can you please talk?
And the whole thing, he talks for half an hour, and all you need to get out of it is there's a serial killer on the loose turning people into walruses. That's all you need to get, and it takes him 45 minutes just to get it's just. And then they cut back to Haley Joel Osment, who's like, I don't even know. This is why I left Hollywood.
Pretty much.
And CW girl is in awe because she wants to bone Johnny Depp even with that fake nose and that bad eye. So they go searching for Justin Long, who at this point has been cut up and turned into a walrus,
literally
using his own skin or the skin of others. We don't really find out.
It looks like a tarp or something on him.
Yeah, it looks like a human skin tarp, but he is a fucking walrus. They turn him into a walrus.
Yeah.
And Michael Parks keeps yelling, Mr. Tusk! And then Michael Parks puts on his own walrus outfit, which he just keeps lying around, until he breaks free of it, because we find out that he killed Mr. Tusk for food, and so he wants to, he believes Mr. Tusk deserves redemption, so they have a battle to the death. You know what's so funny to describe the movie? The movie feels very long, but in talking about it, it's like, oh, and then this happened, and then this happened, and this happened, and then it's over.
You could do it in 20 minutes.
You could do that movie. That could be a short film. And so right as
Mr. Tusk!
Mr. Tusk! And he does say it like Sidney Poitier. That's not us doing that.
I'm not making fun of him. It's just the way it is.
So shaking in the sky, Mr. Tusk!
Exactly.
So right as Haley Joel Osment and CW girl and Detective Johnny Depp get to the mansion, it turns into a Wes Anderson movie. All of a sudden the camera angles are at the bottom of the staircase looking up with them going, hello! And then down and running with intercut with shots of the walrus battle. And you almost think, okay, so this is going to turn into a quirky, oh gosh, good darn it, I get him out of the walrus suit.
Yeah.
And then they bust, and then he violently kills Michael Parks with his tusk. He taps the walrus, stabs Michael Parks.